It's been quite the interesting week for professional wrestling. I mean, Forbidden Door's in the rearview mirror. You know, Forbidden Door, you could come on back. You were actually pretty goddamn good. But Blood and Guts is also in our rearview mirror. And as far as I'm concerned, that fucking goddamn garbage bullshit can stay there. Check out my Dynamite review if you want to hear how I really felt about it. Let's talk about this show as we head towards AEW All Out in a couple months. But we've got the summer to cover, and it's going to be an interesting summer for All Elite Wrestling. I'm Charles Renton with my review of AEW Rampage. And we have Excalibur, JR, and Tony Schiavone on commentary. Honestly, I think having JR on Rampage is a good idea because you don't want to overexpose JR, especially overexpose the fact that he really doesn't give a flying fuck about 90% of the goddamn product. And I understand his disdain for some of it, but there are times where if you're going to be the lead commentator, at least try to do something. Nevertheless, well, we have another Battle Royal, done Royal Rumble style. 1 minute entrance instead of 2 minutes because it's only an hour-long show. They would have needed to make Rampage 2 hours. But that's not going to happen until AEW Rampage Grand Slam. That will come after Dynamite Grand Slam. That's certainly going to be interesting in Arthur Ashe Stadium in just, well, a few weeks. So this was for a #1 contender spot to take on Jon Moxley next week. And Hangman, Darby, Nese, and Hobbs start off. Nese and Hobbs didn't get entrance music, at least on TV. Starks was next. Nese was tossed out, and then Darby dived on him, and then Butcher came down and took Darby and ping-ponged him around on the barricade, and then, well, Silver came out, he hugs Paige, they tease tossing each other out, they're like, ha 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 ha. And then Caster says a line about beating you up like you're Rudy Giuliani, which that little fucker deserves to be beat up repeatedly, because he's a goddamn piece of shit and a goddamn abortion of a human being. He also fucked his second cousin. And he fucking knew it. He's a fucking creep, just like all people like him are. So anyway, Roosh was out next, and then The Blade, and then Penta, and he tangled with Roosh. And then they eliminate each other a little bit later. Swerve comes out, and I like Swerve. I'm glad he at least got featured a little bit here. Caster got tossed out, Lee came out next. Matt Hardy got tossed out after a little bit. It was a little bit jarring to see him. He cannot move anymore. Well, you guessed it, Frankie Kazarian is out next. Brody King and Orange Cassidy are the last two, and Brody King wins. And he hangs Darby up and then drops him. So, okay, that was, well, nearly the first half of the goddamn show. I will say that it wasn't bad. Brody King facing Jon Moxley, I'm all for that for this reason. Yes, it comes a bit out of left field, but considering that the person who won this was not going to beat Jon Moxley, it makes the most sense to have somebody bigger that can take a loss. And it is what it is. Anyway, then Marvez is talking to Hook, trying to get some answers from him. Says, well, you really seem to be a go-with-the-flow type. And then Hook basically threatens him, holds his tie, and basically threatens to paintbrush him and beat him up and pa-pa-pa-pa-pa-pa. And then Hiroki Goto and Yoshiha took on the Young Bucks. Do you want to guess how I felt about this Young Bucks match? Go watch any of the reviews where, you know, at least 95% of the time I talk about the Young Bucks doing the same goddamn shit. And there are some people that like it, there are some people that don't. I happen to be in the camp that doesn't. I will praise their matches when I really do like them. This is the same shit, did nothing for Goto and Yoshihashi. The Bucks win, life goes on, same as it ever was, as the day goes by. Gresham cuts a promo about being the best technical wrestler in the world. He's tired of being ignored, and he's excited to face and prove it, or when he faces off against Toa Lanoa and Kaun, K-A-U-N, on Rampage next week. Okay, I'm for that. Jonathan Gresham is very good. And Nyla does a weather report talking about this, the Tony Storm, you know, coming in and everything. And Nyla's very witty. I wish I would let Nyla talk more. I don't know why Marina Shafir is there. And I asked myself that question when we had Tony Storm versus Nyla Rose in a match where, my God, once the bell rang, people were leaving in droves. There was still a sizable amount of people there. I mean, I think it's like a 16,000-seat stadium. The work is fine. Shafir botches interference because Shafir just botches. That's all she can fucking do. We get a German for 2. Nyla had gotten in some good offense, but got hit with a pendulum DDT 1, 2, 3. Now another beatdown where Shafir is attacking Tony, and then Thunder Rosa runs in. It seems like they're kind of stuck in a bit of a rut when it comes to Thunder Rosa. And I like Thunder Rosa. And her and Tony teaming up would be fine. They could run that back a little bit later. Her and Shafir doesn't need to happen again. Her versus Nyla I'd be all for. At least they ended with the women. Honestly, this was a show that certainly wasn't bad. and at least it flowed well, but that's really all I gotta say about that. Anyway, agree, disagree with what I said, like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Ritlin. I'll see you soon.